Welcome to today's episode, where we'll dive deep into A Beautiful Mind, 2001, a film that explores the complexities of the human mind, genius, and mental illness. Directed by Ron Howard and based on the true story of John Nash, a brilliant mathematician who struggled with schizophrenia, the film beautifully captures the battle between brilliance and delusion. With a stellar performance by Russell Crowe, A Beautiful Mind takes us on a journey of triumph, heartbreak, and perseverance. Today, we'll break down the themes, characters, and the film's powerful message about love, mental illness, and redemption. 1. Overview of the plot. Let's start with a brief overview of the film. A Beautiful Mind begins in the late 1940s when John Nash arrives at Princeton University as a promising graduate student. Right away, Nash stands out not just because of his genius but because of his social awkwardness and obsessive dedication to finding a truly original idea. Nash soon formulates a groundbreaking theory that challenges established economic models, earning him recognition and opportunities, including work with the Department of Defense. However, as Nash's career and personal life advance, he falls in love with and marries Alicia. Played by Jennifer Connelly, his reality starts to unravel. Nash begins experiencing intense delusions and hallucinations, believing he is working on a top-secret government project to uncover Soviet codes. It's revealed later that Nash is battling paranoid schizophrenia. The people and events he believes to be real, his college roommate, government handler, and Soviet spies, are all fabrications of his mind. The rest of the film follows Nash's journey to regain control of his life, manage his condition, and come to terms with his illness, supported by the unwavering love of Alicia. It's a poignant story about how mental illness impacts not only the individual, but also their relationships and professional life. 2. John Nash, a complex character study. John Nash, portrayed brilliantly by Russell Crowe, is a deeply complex character. In the early part of the film, we see Nash as an eccentric genius, a man with immense intellectual capability but also immense social difficulty. He's not your typical protagonist. He's emotionally distant, awkward in social situations, and often comes across as arrogant. Yet, what makes Nash's character so compelling is his vulnerability. His desire for greatness, his struggle with self-worth, and his eventual descent into paranoia and delusion make him both sympathetic and deeply human. Crowe's performance is a masterclass in subtlety. He shows Nash's gradual breakdown not through grand emotional outbursts, but in small, nuanced ways: nervous twitches, quiet mumblings, and the desperate glances that hint at the confusion brewing inside his mind. The portrayal of Nash's hallucinations, which seamlessly blend with his reality, allows us as the audience to experience the confusion and terror of his delusions. 3. Alicia Nash, the pillar of love and support. Alicia, played by Jennifer Connelly in an Oscar-winning performance, is the emotional core of the film. Her unwavering love and support are what ultimately help Nash navigate his illness. The film is, in many ways, a love story not just between Alicia and John, but also about the love of self and the acceptance of one's vulnerabilities. Alicia is portrayed as a deeply empathetic character who stands by Nash even when his mind seems to betray him. The relationship between Nash and Alicia is depicted with tenderness and realism, showing the strain that mental illness can place on even the strongest of bonds. Alicia's struggle isn't romanticized. There are moments where her frustration and exhaustion are palpable. Yet, despite everything, she chooses to stay, showing that love, while difficult, can be a powerful force for healing. 4. Themes, genius and madness. One of the central themes of A Beautiful Mind is the fine line between genius and madness. Throughout history, there's been a fascination with the notion that great minds are often accompanied by great struggles. Nash's schizophrenia is portrayed not as a separate force, but as something intertwined with his genius. The film doesn't shy away from exploring how the same mind that can produce groundbreaking work in mathematics can also be the source of deep, irrational fear and paranoia. Nash's battle with schizophrenia is not just external, it's an internal battle as well, as he tries to reconcile his rational mind with the hallucinations that seem all too real to him. This theme raises important questions about the nature of creativity and brilliance. Is Nash's ability to think outside the box part of the same mechanism that creates his delusions? The film leaves us pondering whether these two aspects of his mind are inextricably linked. 5. The nature of reality and perception. The film plays with our perception of reality in fascinating ways. For much of the movie, we experience the world through Nash's perspective, and the hallucinations are as real to us as they are to him. His imaginary friend Charles, the menacing government agent William Parcher, and the complex code-breaking missions all seem like part of the plot. This storytelling device places the audience inside Nash's mind, allowing us to experience the confusion, fear, and eventual heartbreak when Nash realizes that these figures are figments of his imagination. This exploration of reality versus delusion speaks to the broader human experience. How often do we create narratives, realities, and fears in our minds that are disconnected from the truth? Nash's story is an extreme example of how our perceptions can sometimes deceive us. 6. The stigma of mental illness. At its core, A Beautiful Mind is also about the stigma surrounding mental illness. Nash's schizophrenia is initially hidden from the world, and when it's revealed, it threatens to ruin his career, relationships, and reputation. The film depicts how mental illness can be misunderstood and feared, particularly in the context of high-functioning individuals like Nash, whose identity and self-worth are so closely tied to their intellect. There's a powerful scene where Nash is asked to give up his teaching position because of his illness, illustrating how mental illness was and often still is seen as a reason to ostracize or discredit someone, regardless of their capabilities. The film invites a conversation about the importance of understanding, supporting, and treating mental illness with compassion. 7. Triumph of the human spirit. One of the most uplifting aspects of the film is Nash's eventual acceptance of his condition and his ability to manage it. A Beautiful Mind doesn't offer a fairy tale ending where Nash is cured of schizophrenia, but instead, it shows how he learns to live with it. Nash chooses not to let his illness define him, and with the support of Alicia and his close colleagues, he is able to continue his work, eventually earning the Nobel Prize in Economics for his contributions to game theory. Nash's journey is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The film emphasizes that despite the challenges we face, whether they be mental illness, self-doubt, or external obstacles, there is always hope for redemption and success. Nash's life shows that one can still contribute to the world and find meaning, even in the face of great adversity. 8. Direction and cinematic techniques. Ron Howard's direction in A Beautiful Mind is both understated and effective. He allows the story to unfold in a way that keeps the audience invested in Nash's internal and external struggles. The use of visual motifs, such as reflections and mirrors, emphasizes Nash's fractured perception of reality. Howard's decision to depict Nash's hallucinations as seamless parts of his life until the dramatic reveal is a brilliant narrative choice that places the audience in Nash's shoes. The score, composed by James Horner, complements the film's emotional and intellectual beats, adding a haunting beauty to the scenes of Nash's breakdowns and moments of triumph. Conclusion. A Beautiful Mind is a deeply moving exploration of the complexities of the human mind. It's not just a film about schizophrenia or genius, but a story about love, resilience, and the strength it takes to face one's inner demons. Russell Crowe and Jennifer Connelly's performances elevate the film, making it an emotional and thought-provoking experience. Whether you're drawn to the film for its psychological depth, its portrayal of a real-life figure, or its exploration of mental illness, there's no denying that A Beautiful Mind leaves a lasting impact on its audience. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the film. Until next time. Closing thoughts. With this breakdown, I hope we've gained a deeper understanding of A Beautiful Mind and the incredible story of John Nash. His life, filled with both brilliance and struggle, reminds us that the human mind is as fragile as it is powerful. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and tune in for more film analyses. See you next time.